The unbelievable journey of Garbancito, from abandonment to redemption, in the midst of a relentless storm, an act of unbelievable cruelty was committed against a defenseless being. In the dark silence of the night, a puppy of only 4 months was cruelly discarded as if it were a worthless object. Trapped inside a bag, it was hung from a fence, unable to move or escape. Its small, fragile, and vulnerable body was covered in a sticky and toxic substance, industrial glue. The substance burned its skin, made it difficult for it to breathe, and left it completely immobile, stuck to the fabric that wrapped it. The puppy's desperation was evident. It cried incessantly, making sounds of pain and anguish, begging for help. The cold rain punished its already weakened body, making the scene even more desolate. It is not known exactly how long he remained there, suspended between life and death, but what was clear was that every minute that passed diminished his chances of survival. The rescue and the fight for life. When he was finally found, Garbancito was in a critical condition. His body was extremely weakened by dehydration, hunger, and injuries caused by prolonged contact with a chemical substance. He was so weak that he could barely move. His dull eyes reflected not only physical pain, but also the emotional impact of the trauma he had suffered. The first challenge was to remove the glue without causing more suffering. The process was long and meticulous, requiring patience and delicacy to avoid further damage to his already injured skin. In addition, he needed intensive medical care to treat his severe anemia and malnutrition. His recovery would require time, dedication, and continuous veterinary monitoring. The strength of a warrior. Despite everything he had been through, Garbancito demonstrated impressive resilience. Even though he was weak, he did not give up. Every day, small signs of improvement began to appear. First, eating became easier. Then, his skin began to heal, and his strength slowly returned. Little by little, he began to interact, accepting affection and showing trust in the people around him. His eyes, previously full of fear and suffering, began to reveal something different: hope. His unbreakable spirit showed that, despite the abandonment and cruelty he suffered, he was still willing to fight for a better life. An unbelievable transformation. As the days passed, Garbancito began to transform before the eyes of his caregivers. His body, previously fragile and malnourished, began to gain weight and strength. He began to explore the environment around him, play, and show signs of genuine happiness. And then, the most awaited moment arrived. An adopter, touched by his story and enchanted by his sweetness, decided to give him a forever home. Now, Garbancito was no longer a puppy abandoned to his own fate. He became part of a loving family where he received all the protection, security, and affection that had always been denied to him. A dignified ending for a story of overcoming. Garbancito's journey, which began so tragically, found a completely different outcome: the beginning of a dignified life full of love. His painful past will never be erased, but he now has the opportunity to live surrounded by affection, respect, and care. His story is a powerful testimony of resilience and hope, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is the possibility of redemption. Garbancito survived, not only physically, but emotionally. He overcame, and now, he can finally enjoy the happy life he always deserved.